This is an incomplete speech that I'm working on, but sometimes doing an incomplete speech helps me remember or figure out what I'm missing from it and complete it. This speech is called A Cookie Recipe. I am so sorry for your loss. My thoughts and prayers are with you at this dark time in your life. My heartfelt condolences. I feel so... All of these things suck. I don't like saying any of them. When somebody important to one of my friends dies, you want to say something. And inevitably, everything you say feels so shallow and tinsely and fucking useless. And inevitably, what I do is I move to, I know how you feel because my brother killed himself. And this is what it felt like for me. The problem is when you give those stories, it feels like you're trying to compare misery. And I hate that. I'm not trying to one-up you. I'm trying to show that I've been where you're at. I want to show sympathy. I want to show brotherhood. I want to show... I know a little bit. It's not you perfectly, but I know a little bit. So I'll say this instead. I've made cookies too. It's got a great recipe. My dad gave it to me when he died. I'm sorry. I've been perfecting this recipe since my great-grandmother died in 1988. I know you have your own cookie recipe, and I'm not saying mine are any better than yours. And I'm not trying to compare your cookies to my cookies. I'm just saying I've had that flavor in my mouth as well. Dry as ashes thrown at a beloved spot, cold as the empty spot at the table, as empty as a bit of shared language that now only one living person knows. I would love to tell you about my cookie recipe, but I so do not want it to become a contest. I'm not trying to make any claims beyond this shared experience. I'm trying to give you my sympathy of a shared experience, eating cookies, with all the gravitas and weight that such an experience should have, and I simply don't know how else to do this. So, tell me about your cookies. What memories make them sweet? What bittersweet chips are you finding that were added without you ever realizing it? What flavors do yours have? What regrets from the years of baking? Tell me everything about your recipe, and I will be silently matching it up to my own to see where I can feel the deepest connection for you right now, where I can marvel at how our individual versions differ from one another while still being so similar. Because the sad fact is, I cannot ever experience your cookies, and you can never experience mine or anyone else's, but I don't want to just say I'm praying from you or some trite shit. I want you to know I've stood and will stand again where you are now, and I do so much more than merely sympathize with you. I do so much more than care, than just feel, than cry and break for whatever you're feeling, but those emotions are too complex to fit into platitudes, so instead, let's treat it like the complex subject that it is, the emotions and the experiences that went into this recipe, the time you spent developing it, the things you can never add to it now that it's done. So, let's call our individual yet mutual grief something sweet, something as complex as a relationship, something as personal as a cookie recipe passed down from your great-grandparents to your grandparents, to your dad, and now to your brother. Let's have cookies. Thank you, Shabazz. Did it beat?